upside down. Boy, you turn me inside out and round. Is that Diana Ross? Is that the same record where she was like, I want muscles? He's good enough from his head down to his toes. I think that's Diana Ross. Upside down. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. Are we live? I think we're live. This is Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You, and this is another edition of Notes on the News. Peace, right? Where I share with you headlines from a news feed, and we chit-chat. I chit-chat about the news, the headline, the subject matter at large, or whatever happens to come up. But it's not news. It's just my notes on the news. We live. Was that Diana Ross? Have you ever heard that song? I think if it was Diana Ross, it was like after she was famous. You know how people try to like make a comeback. But that was the jam. Now that I'm thinking about it, and I used to, as a little girl, I used to like, oh, I want muscles. Now that was definitely Diana Ross. Because I'm like, is she getting muscles from her Jewish husband? I mean, I'm just wondering, her older Jewish husband? I don't know. All right. Habaragani. What's the Nguzo Saba for today? Is it Saba or Saba? Thank you for the likes. The Nguzo Saba for yesterday was what? Cooperative economics. I think I called it collective economics at some point. Yesterday was cooperative economics. So that means that today is obviously what? Nia. Purpose. Purpose. To make our collective vocation the building and redeveloping of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. To make our collective vocation, our collective work, our collective mission, the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. And I'm not a fan so much of that language of restoring. I'm a fan of advancing us to a greatness that's in the legacy of what we had, but we can't go back. You can never go back. Who wants to go backwards? We going forward. I want to go forward. You want to go? I want to go forward. Let's go. Okay. So, Nia, purpose. Nia, purpose. What is your purpose? What is your work? What you out here doing? What you about? I think the dog is barking at a bird. Okay, let's see what the Buddha has to say today. It came at 10 o'clock today. They done switched over somehow. Overcome the angry by non-angry. Overcome the wicked by goodness. Overcome the miser by generosity. Overcome the liar by truth. Do you think that's true? Overcome the angry by non-anger. Now that has happened with me before. Hey, Stephanie Gerald, welcome on the chat. Have I seen your name before? That has happened to me before, where I be trying to be mad at somebody and they won't be mad back at me. And so it's kind of like, it's not really anywhere to go with that. Yeah. Oh, yesterday. Did I say the same thing yesterday? Is it like Groundhog Day? Every day I'm going to be like, hey, I ain't never seen you before. But now it's probably going to click. You know, I'm slow, but I'm not that slow. I'm trying. Welcome. Stephanie, are you new here? Have I ever seen you before? You ain't even have to wait for yesterday for for tomorrow for the repeat. So I don't know. That's one I'm not sure about. I don't know if you can overcome wickedness by goodness, the miser by generosity, and the liar by truth. I'm not sure. I have to Let that one marinate, maybe process the world, see what I observe. So, what is new and good with you? Anything exciting? We know it's a new breath that we just breathed in, and it's good that we were able to exhale it. That's part of the flow. So that's always new and good. But what else is new and good? I think it's free second Sunday at the Charles H. Wright Museum. Now, I keep needing to go see our main exhibit that I didn't even know existed, but I still haven't been to see it because it seemed like I never have time. Nope, my boring life is always. Well, you got a new breath. And you know what? I invite you and I challenge you to start looking for things that are new and good. Maybe there's a new bird in the backyard. Maybe there is a new show that's coming on. Maybe there is a new meal that you are going to prepare. Maybe you're starting a new habit. Maybe you're deciding, instead of having the same old boring life, I'm going to do something new and go on an adventure. And then you'll report it to us and we'll all be like, oh my God, you went there, you did that. That's so exciting. Or maybe we'll be like, ugh, but you'll be like, it was new for me. I had this thing once, I never really got into it, but I was like, every month I'm going to do something new, and I put it in my calendar. I was successful when I said every week I'm going to take myself on a date, but then I got in a rut because I would always go to the dollar show. And then I got into an even weirder rut because for some reason, Two Can Play That Game was playing at that time. And it was like every week I'd be like, okay, it's a whole bunch of shows playing. What do I want to see? And every week I just want to see Two Can Play That Game. But it was a date, and it was the whole point of taking yourself on a date is that you can just do what you want to do. You don't have to coordinate with anybody else. You could just follow your own little heart. So maybe we'll start our thing of trying something new, because I tried halo therapy. I had never tried that before. So that was something new. I ordered this black. That's something new. That dog is out there just wilding out. First he chasing a bird. Now he pulling down some plant, weed, something. I don't know what he doing. Okay. So tomorrow, maybe the new report will be, hey, I'm going to start something new. That'll be doing good. Mexican, so let's proceed with the notes on the news from the news feed. Mexican plane company had received multiple safety complaints before crash in Cuba that killed over 100 people. So we talked about it yesterday. I said, I think they were, I had heard that they were renting that plane from a Mexican, renting that plane from a Mexican company. And they were, and it had received a multitude, a whole bunch, a lot of safety complaints. Peace, Information Man Show. So, that's not a good sign. And 100 people dead, over 100 people dead. I think I saw 110 today. That's a lot of people. Peace, welcome. You work too much. Medgar Evers' home closer to being a national monument. First baby in 12 years born on remote Brazil island. So the young woman who had the child was 22. They don't want you to have children on the island. They say it was a great live stream last night, even though it was so late. I didn't think I was going to make it, but I basically made it. So if you haven't seen the Information Man Show, go check out his channel, his live stream. I'm trying to remember, Rottweiler. Do you do live streams? Do you have content on your channel? I have to investigate. But yeah, you can hit anybody on this, anybody who's here supporting, hit them, go check out their pages and subscribe. If you find something exciting, interesting, watch some videos, comment, be a part of the conversation, be a part of the community. So this particular island, it's like a remote island, have a maternity ward. They say if you're pregnant, you need to go to the mainland. Don't be having no babies over here on our island. The child said she was 22. She said she didn't know she was pregnant. Her family said they didn't know she was pregnant. She went to the bathroom I think she went to the bathroom and something came out and her man caught it and it was a baby. So it wasn't something, it was someone. I think it was a baby girl. I don't remember. So that's the first baby born on the island in 12 years. Okay. Cougar. Wow. Cougar shot dead after killing U.S. cyclist and mauling another. This was an interesting story to me for a couple of reasons. One, because I feel like I don't know if we're encroaching more and more on, you know, because just like how white people, humans are colonizers, and they just come and they like, hey, we here, we taking over, scoot over, move someplace else because this is where I live now. That's what we do with animals. We just be like, move, and then the wolves and the coyotes or whatever come, and we be like, oh my God, it's a coyote in my backyard, and you shoot them. But yesterday, a year ago, the backyard was they place, and now you shooting them and killing them because they in their place that you just claimed is your place. I mean, I'm just saying. So this is the first time, this is only the second time in the past 100 years that there has been a fatal cougar attack. So the person was bicycling, the cougar got him and took him to his lair. He was able to make a phone call and be like, this cougar got me in his lair and I guess it's about to kill me. And I guess it did kill him. So rest in peace. I think it was a man. They say the rider. Oh, his mobile phone. It was a man. So he's made his transition. So it's sort of like 2 in 100 years. It doesn't really sound like a lot, except listen to this. And they use dogs to find the particular cougar, I guess. Hey, it's Fojo's. What's up, girl? Hey, girl. Hey. But wildlife officials, however, say more cougar attacks have been reported in the western U.S. and Canada over the past 20 years than in the previous 80. So there's more of them. It's because we're encroaching more on them. They ain't got nowhere to go, so what they gonna do? Are they just supposed to like quietly move away, or are they supposed to fight back? I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't want to get attacked by a cougar, but I'm just looking at it from the cougar's perspective. I don't really know the cougar's perspective, but you see what I'm saying? I mean, what's going on? Thank you for the likes. So, yeah, that's what happened. So again, rest in peace to the cyclist, his family, his community. Thessaloniki, I might be mispronouncing it. Let's slow it down. Thessaloniki, I think I had it right. Thessaloniki mayor Yanis Boutaris, that sounds like it's in Greece, beaten up. So the man, he's 75 years old. He ain't had no security with him. He had some aides with him. I could be the mayor's aide. I ain't there to fight no people. He was going to some sort of memorial for someone who had died a long time ago. And the people are like, you don't need to be here. It's a whole political thing. I could never get clarity as to whether it was like him going to a memorial of a Confederate soldier or him going to a memorial of an enslaved African who fought for freedom. I could never figure out which type, what the situation is. But I think that he was attacked by right-wing fascist types, according to the article. So he went to the memorial. The people are like, you don't need to be here, leave, get out. And then they beat him. They kicked him. They kicking him in the head. A 75-year-old man. And then his aides were able to get him away. Kicked in the head, legs beaten with bottles by a group of nationalists angry over his appearance at a remembrance event. It was a nightmare, he said. There were several people that attacked me. They were hitting me everywhere. That sounds awful. So he was kept in the hospital overnight. Look how he looked. He looked like he just got attacked. Can y'all see him? He looked like, what in the world just happened here? Yeah, somebody called the attackers far-right bullies who have to face the consequences of their actions. So all over the world. Because I'm like, now Zero, he about 70. What if he showed up, like, let's say we were having a memorial for Trayvon Martin and he showed up. I was kind of like trying to understand, is it like people being like, getting him and beating his behind? Like, how you might feel like, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. You're not here sincerely. Move on. Or, what was the context? So anyway, that's what happened. Hawaii volcano, man hit by lava in first serious Kilauea injury. Now, y'all know that we've been talking about this Hawaii volcano, which has been in the process of erupting, it seems like for a couple of weeks. And I think yesterday or the day before, it started spewing lava. Before that, it was throwing rocks and stuff out of it. So I thought it had already erupted, but apparently it just erupted within the past couple of days. And so now someone got hit by the lava. And that's the first serious injury. He didn't die, he just got hit. So, I'm not sure, I don't know what you do when a volcano starts erupting. Do you leave the whole island? Do you just try to get out the way? I mean, your stuff, I don't know. So, just prayers out to Hawaii as they deal with the volcano. Saudi Arabia women's driving activists targeted in smear campaign. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. And there was something else. I had clicked on the article yesterday. I didn't click on the article, but there was a little bit more to it. Some of these people are not actually in Saudi Arabia, but they definitely feel like there has been, the same way that I sort of ascertained the sense of the article is that there has been an attack on, the women who were organizers. So they okay, enslaved black folks or black folks, we gonna let y'all have some civil rights, but those people who were agitating, they in trouble and we about to get them. So, they dogging them out and, they don't be out here, agitating for women's rights. Y'all gonna be able to drive. And I think the thing that kind of trips me out about these types of articles is the idea that, in this particular context, the women, not only were they not able to drive, but, you have to ask for permission to do certain things. Like, I guess I want to go to the grocery store. Is that okay? I want to go to the library. Is that okay? I want to go to the restroom. May I please go to the bath? I don't really know exactly how it works, but it just seems weird because I think of myself as a grown budded woman and I'm like, who gonna give me permission? And so it's just really difficult for me to conceptualize the idea of grown people asking for permission, even if they're women. I know some people think that women are quite grown, but I'm not one of those people. And so it's just a little difficult for me to just conceptualize the whole situation. Right. I'm grown. You know what I really want to say, but I try not to be just too cursive. Okay, Medgar. Oh, we talked about all of that. I don't know how we went backwards. So let's go forward. Cuba plane crash, Damojh. Now that doesn't even sound like a Mexican name. Damojh. If I were to guess, I would think that it was Arabic. But anyway, Damojh company had safety complaints. We talked about it. Justice for Chikesha Clemens, march planned for today. If I'm not mistaken, Chikesha Clemens is the woman who was in the Waffle House who ordered her food to go. And I don't know if it was that she just wanted one set of silverware or she wanted two sets of silverware. I don't know what exactly had happened, but basically over some bull, they called the police on the woman. The police came, they slammed her down, her breast was exposed. So there is a march that's planned for today. That's reported on the Grio. And I can't remember where she was, where that happened. I feel like it's in the South, but they say if you're south of Canada, you down south. So, and I'd argue that even Canada is up south because I spent a little bit of time there around black folks who spend even more time there. Released Niger drone footage shows the Nigerian troops firing on U.S. soldiers who desperately fought for their lives. So you may remember maybe about 4 or 5, 6 months ago, there were, I think it was 4 soldiers who got out of Niger, I don't know how you pronounce it. And then there was the one black soldier who was left behind. And then his body came back to the United States. His wife was not allowed to see his body. His congressperson had a relationship with this young family, this young man. His wife was trying to advocate on their behalf. The president called. When Zero called, he didn't refer to this black person who had been left behind by name. He referred to the young man, to his wife, as your guy, and said something to the effect of, your guy knew what he was getting into. She was a little offended. 1, that he didn't know her husband's name or didn't choose to use her husband's name. And 2, that he said that she was getting into it. The congresswoman was there. She wears the cowboy hat. Remember? Yeah, Congresswoman was there. She wears a cowboy hat, and she reported on what had happened. Meanwhile, one of Zero's rich white men around him, I don't know what position he was in, but he basically said that this congressional woman who wears the cowboy hat was an empty barrel. Y'all remember all of that? So now some of the footage has come of, these people fighting for their life. They were mistaken, according to what I remember from the article. It's not coming up immediately, but they were mistaken for enemies, like, their friends thought they were their enemies and were firing on them. And so they were desperately fighting for their lives. Now, when the whole thing happened, I'm like, well, I wonder why. Is it just a coincidence that the white people got out and the black guy did? Like, I don't know. I didn't like that part of the story. I mean, I don't like any part of it, but that part, I was just like, what really happened? It seemed like something that would you watch the movie and you know how they had the official report and then you see the real story and you'd be like, I should have known. I should have known. That's how I felt like it was going to be one of those type situations. So, you hate to see somebody desperate. I hate to see somebody desperately fighting for their life, because you figure just in their last moment, they was like doing everything they could. Or maybe we love to see somebody fighting for their life. Because if you're not fighting for your life, what you fighting for? So maybe I need to look at it a whole different way. So anyway, that footage has been released. This is coming off of Atlanta Black Star. I haven't seen the footage. Have you? And then I thought it was interesting that Niger and Nigeria, we refer to the people as Nigerian. And I'm like, but how do you know when you say Nigerian? Do you say Nigerian and then Nigerian? How do you know whether you're referring to people from Niger or Nigeria? Do you know? These are just some of the questions that and they're spelled the same way, except for Nigeria has Iria on it and Niger does not. Because I looked on the map because I was curious. American Family Homes, name change needed. I know, so that we Americans don't get confused. American Family Homes are getting bigger than ever, but U.S. homeowners don't fully understand the consequences of living big. I don't think we were talking about it here. I think I was talking about it someplace else. This whole idea, like if you watch HGT, everybody wants a big, huge wall. They be like 20 years old. Oh, I need a walk-in closet. Oh, I don't have enough clothes to get, but I'll fill it up with something. Oh, I need an ensuite. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need this. And it's just kind of like, wow, back in the day, we might have been talking about it on here, but back in the day, people saved up, $10, $15, $20,000. If you were white, mostly your family might help when you got married and give you $5, $10, $20,000. The tiny houses are really cute. Give you $5, $10, $20,000 to help you get started on your starter home. And you might get a small home just to start to get into the home ownership game. And then you might upgrade. But it's like everybody, it seems like they just start upgraded. And I really feel like the financial services, we're going to use the term services very loosely, but that they have just done a really good job of selling their services to us. They have a really good hustle, and that we have really bought into the idea that just borrow the money, borrow as much as you need. People don't even hardly have down payments these days. Just borrow, 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 which is like basically buy their product, buy their product, buy their product, which is debt. And debt is really, really jacked up for us. It's great for them. That's why their buildings are so big and beautiful and grand, these banks, because they making big bank. And we, meanwhile, are buying these big homes. And then you look at it like, like in this neighborhood, for example, like where I stay on the top floor, it's it might have been a slave quarter, but like servants' quarters. So there's a bathroom, a kitchen, a living room, a bedroom, and then like the hallway area is like kind of a big sitting area. It's not like a narrow hallway, it's a wide hallway. And then it's just two people who live here other than me. And it's a huge house. And before I came, it was just two people. And on this block, I don't think there's any house that has more than two people living on it. And all of the houses are probably 4,000 or 5,000 square feet. It just seems so wasteful to me, like I feel like, space, I understand space, but sometimes it just seems like our demands are just big. The average family home in 2016 for America was 2,500 square feet. House sizes in America have nearly doubled since the 1960s. Everybody wants a McMansion. Everybody should have a McMansion. Just borrow the money. Owning a large home with a wealth of amenities has become intrinsically linked with living the American dream. These homes raise a number of ethical concerns. For example, the upkeep they require is generally facilitated by low wage earners because, of course, people's cost of living has been going down. That's the general population. For Black folks, it's probably a whole other conversation. I think, on these TV shows and in my life, I see a lot of people who seem to be buying more house than is necessary. But you also see a lot of people who can't even afford, to get into any house. They don't have a down payment. And then, of course, the banks charge us, the interest rates that they charge us, regardless of your credit, are, we get charged the black tax. So it costs us more to do everything, especially buying a house. So, mother claims her son was attacked by a middle school teacher who threatened to burn him alive. So you send your child to middle school, 10, 11, 12 years old, and the teacher threatens to burn your child alive. An upset parent alleged her son's teacher physically and verbally attacked him during an agriculture lesson at McWilliams Middle School in North Carolina, North Kakalaki. The student's mother, who refused to be identified, said her son was yanked by the Fayetteville teacher, spat on, and that's really disgusting, to spit on somebody. That's like really offensive and disgusting. And called a NIGGER. The incident happened May 10 during an outside agriculture lesson. According to the mom, a gang of students began throwing dirt, but the educator singled her son out. That used to happen to me in my journalism class. The teacher would lead a room. Everybody would be talking. The teacher would come in and be like, "Miss Riley, I can hear you out in the hall. Miss Riley." I don't know if it was the tone of my voice, the pitch, or if she was a Delta. My mother's a Delta. I don't know. I don't know why. But it was like I was forever in trouble. I would say her name, but I don't want to say her name. But I remember her as a grown-up person, we got along cool. But I could never understand why I always got in trouble when everybody was talking. Grabbed him by the arm and told him he wanted to smash his head into a brick and burn him on fire. He then allegedly called the 7th grader the N-word and told him people like him that kept him from doing his job. And she said it may have an everlasting effect on child. I bet you it will. It would have an everlasting effect on me if somebody snatched me up talking about they want to hit me with a brick and burn me alive. Oh my gosh. So the school says that they are aware of the incident and they are investigating. Now, I don't know the child. I just can't imagine a child making up that story, and I can't imagine a mother making up that story. I don't know what other children were around and what they witnessed, but we've been having an ongoing conversation about our children in these schools being educated by people who are not us, who are not for us, do not love us, do not care about us, are not concerned about us, want to hurt us, want us to be re-enslaved officially, again, publicly, so they can celebrate it. And, we're just seeing example after example after example after example of our children being assaulted. And that's an overt assault. Think of all of the subtle, covert attacks that our children experience, being around people who don't love them and who don't wish them well. So I'm excited. Again, we talked a couple days ago. I told y'all there was a new African centered school starting in the city. So, it's the kind of stuff, it's like, I just don't see. Is it Martin Luther King who said, it's basically foolish of us to have our enemies educating our children? They don't mean us any good, even if they smiling in our face and seem to be friendly. What is really going on in their heart and how they really, research is, there's all kinds of research on, bias and bias that you not, but a lot of them are aware that they hate black people. It's not implicit bias, it's explicit bias. They tell you, I hate your behind. So yeah, that's awful. I mean, I guess if that mother was not aware of what type, I don't know if she's going to localize it to that one particular teacher, like, oh my God, he's crazy. Or if she's going to be like, oh my gosh, it's crazy for me to have my child in the system. I don't know if she feels overwhelmed. Like, I work a job. Rod say he work a lot. She work a lot of hours. She trying to put food on the table, maybe trying to buy a house, saving to buy a house. Maybe she own a house. She trying to keep the mortgage payments up. Does she have time to homeschool? Does she have the confidence to home? Like, what does she do? Are there African centered schools? Does she trust that if she sends her child to an African centered school, will they be able to get in college? If what will happen to my child, maybe I better just stick with the system. This is what the white people say I should do. This is what everybody else is doing. Maybe I should just stick with this. And it's just one crazy teacher. I don't know how she's processing it. I know how I'm processing it. But prayers out to them, and just prayers out to all of us for wisdom and insight and making good decisions in a challenging situation. I think we're in a challenging situation, but just, help us, God. Don't take don't take white advice. Just help us to figure this out. Help us to know, guide our thoughts and guide our words and guide our actions, so that we're moving in a direction that is in the direction of truth and love of ourselves. Because I mean, white high school tennis team's racist photo goes viral. So they were the theory goes that they were playing a game of tennis, and the team that they were playing was black, and I guess they figured they were gonna beat them. They ain't beat them. They got mad. So when they got on the bus, they took some white paper bags and they cut some holes on them, and then they covered their heads up, and then they took a picture. It's so funny, right? So here's the image. And of course, what's the party line? It was just a joke. We were just joking, right? That's basically what they said. A disturbing photo has surfaced of the group of students from a Georgia high school tennis team posing with white bags over their head like they're repping for the KKK. 8 boys from Telfair County High School in McRae, Georgia, posted. So not only did they get the bags, cut the holes on them, put them on their head, and take the picture. That's a whole bunch of steps involved. But then they posted the picture because they were mad that they couldn't beat a black tennis team, reports the Washington Post. Washington Post be out here, don't they? Washington Post owner is the same one who owns Amazon that Zero is just mad at. Amazon is getting the good deals. He just mad because the Washington Post be out. He just mad because he crazy. But anyway, he's especially mad at the Washington Post. So now my thing done froze. So I thought it was interesting. One, I guess that they thought, like, I wonder if they had won the game, would they feel that that was vindication? Like, would they have been like, yay, we won, let's rep for the KKK, whoop whoop, KKK, stay winning, or did they feel bad because they lost to a bunch of black people and they're young, so they thought, oh, we're better than black people, and then they were shocked, oh my God, we're not better than the black people and we lost. And so now they're mad and they're trying to do something to get revenge on the black people because there's been some violation of their belief about their natural superiority to black people. And so is that why they did this? Or would they have done it even if they were like in celebratory winning phase? I don't know. But that was one question that I had. I had some other questions, but now I'm in an ad. Oh, here, okay. I heard they were playing around, but you don't play around like that. That's what a 10th grader said, who was an African American. She said you don't play around like that. And then Wooten, this is the same little girl who said you don't play around like that. And then she said she doesn't think that the students are racist. Now, I thought this was also very interesting too, because she said they're really cool people. They never did anything to me that was racist. So it's sort of interesting that this young girl, she's 13 years old. It seems like if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, she doesn't have the insight or the wisdom or whatever to be like, well, they never did anything to me personally that I was aware of or conscious of, but their behavior indicates that they had some issues with black folks. No, she said they never did anything to me, so they're not racist. That was deep to me. Our critical thinking and our analytical thinking skills, we have to continue to work with our young people on that. We have to continue to work with ourselves on that so that we can accurately analyze what is integration. So we can integration dilutes black consciousness. Yeah, we have to be able to accurately analyze what's going on. Our children have to be able to accurately analyze what's going on. We can't be out here, oh, well, they nice to me, so they must be my friend. We have to be able to call a thing and see a thing for what it is. So I thought that was really interesting. So the school called the photo highly offensive. And according to the Washington Post, the students have been disciplined. How were they disciplined, I wonder? Were they suspended? Were they expelled? Were they expunged from the school? We have a zero tolerance policy for racism. You will not be in our school system any longer. Your parents and you need to make other plans. Someone should organize a rally or something, another user wrote. We all need to come back to show that we will not allow this behavior in our school. The school superintendent released this statement. They do not approve of this behavior. The investigation was initiated, and the students have received punishments accordingly. So we still don't know what the punishment was. It's become a disturbing trend among many schools and universities. It just seemed like the thing to do. It seems like, and it seems like it goes on without punishment, more or less. So like, it seems like if I'm a young person and I see somebody post something up on social media and then they get in trouble, I might be like, well, I'm not going to post anything up on social media because I don't want to get in trouble. But no, it's like they see the people posting stuff up on social media, nothing happens. So they like, hey, I'm gonna post the stuff up on social media. Or maybe even if something did happen, they do it anyway because they're young and they dumb. I don't know, but it certainly seems like nobody is getting, punished to me. They talk about Penn State. These are college students, and William Patterson University were seen yelling vulgar, racist, hateful obscenities in two separate videos that have now gone viral. And I hadn't even heard of these, but we've been hearing about it probably once or twice a week, maybe more. We hear some young person. And that lawyer, did y'all see the New York lawyer who was telling the Spanish speaking people don't speak Spanish and you on welfare and I pay your money or whatever food? I thought that was an old man. That man is like less than 30. He 30, 25, 35. He young. Remember, probably maybe 5 or 10 years ago, I remember a lot of people were like, oh, the racists are dying out. They not dying out. They being duplicated and celebrated and trained up in the ways of train them up in the way you would have them to go, however it goes. That's what's going on. They being trained up. They out here doing the most. The Santa Fe gunman was reportedly cheering himself and taunted students during his attack. As long as Becky pushes them out there, they keep coming, a little tongue lashing. So we had already heard that when he started shooting, he was like, surprise, I'm going to kill you. And then we had also heard, well, he didn't say I'm going to kill you, but surprise, I guess as in surprise, I'm here with a gun to kill you. Like, again, we talked about, I don't know, if I was going to shoot someone, what's the proper etiquette, but and then we also heard that he was like, oh, I like you, I'm not going to shoot you. Oh, I don't like you, I'm going to shoot you. Oh, I looked at the images of the people who had gotten shot. And one was the young girl from Pakistan that we talked about. And then was another young Latina. So I guess 20% of the people appear to be of color to me. And I think that definitely the Pakistani girl, she looked colored. She didn't look white. The little Latina girl, I'm not sure how she would be perceived. Because she definitely was not Afro-Latina to my eyes, but so he was cheering himself on, proper etiquette for murder, right? I don't know, because at first I was like, that's crazy, but shit, I'm sure you're gonna. I don't know what's crazy or not. I mean, the whole thing is crazy. But he was cheering himself on, like, "Go, go, kill him. You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep going. Keep shooting them. Keep killing the people." And then taunting people. "I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna kill you." Okay, so yesterday we talked about this Kerry James Marshall, this artist who was the who sold some artwork for $21 million. I think it was $21 million, and some black entertainer or someone bought it. I can't remember now who it was. And I remember I was like, "Is Kerry James Marshall? Is it Kerry James as in a man, or is it Kerry James Marshall as in maybe a woman?" I guess that it was a man, and I wondered what I would think of their artwork. So anyway, I did end up looking him up. He's 1955. He's born in 1955. He was born in Birmingham. He grew up in South Central LA, and he now lives in Chicago. So it seems like a lot of those things feel very like he could have been like immersed in Black cultural consciousness in Birmingham, South Central, Chicago. It sounds like we have some potential here. He taught at the School of Art and Design at the University of Illinois at Chicago. He's a graduate of a School of Art and Design, and he spent time in Watts in LA, where the Black Power and Civil Rights movements had a significant impact on his paintings, strongly experienced by his experience as a young man. Oh, I told y'all he was a man. He's a man. Confront racial stereotypes. So anyway, this is some of his work. I was just curious to see if he would be, anybody. Now this piece is interesting. It's a daddy and a daughter. I don't know if you can tell, but the daddy or a man holding a young girl up. Some of the other stuff that I saw, I liked a little bit more than what they had in this Wikipedia article. But I just thought it was interesting. We were just curious. What you call me? Black male adult film star sues over white co-stars N-word usage. So now we've been talking about our man from Atlanta who said jokingly that he was having sex with a Armenian woman, and before he said that in the setup of the joke, he was saying how Vietnamese are Donald Glover are who did I say? Childish Gambino, Vietnamese are the N-word, the Niggers of the Asian people. And he said somebody else are the Niggers of some other culture. And Armenians are the niggas of white people. Yeah, it was not funny. And then he went on to say that he was having sex with the woman, and she, right when at the critical moment, she called them Nigger, and then he came like he had never come before. So here we have a black male adult film star. He has sex for a living. And a lot of times when you look up pornography, there's like a whole genre, which is like the black buck type genre of pornography. Like, it seems like some white men especially seem to get off on the idea of their women or seeing women have sex with black men. And some women seem to get off on the idea of having sex with black men or being raped by black. There's like this whole fetishizing of, so it seems like if you're an adult porn star and you're black, that might be like your niche, or you might do that on occasion. But this man said, no, 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 no. This is a black adult film star. I don't know. Oh, whoa, look at look at that image. I don't know what I was expecting. He got a fur collar, a fur hat. He got on a suit. He got on nice shoes. He got a watch on. I don't know what kind of alcohol, what beverage he's holding. It looks like some type of expensive alcohol. But he sued. He said, "Don't be calling me Nigger when I'm on this job. I may be on this job, but you're not going to call me a Nigger." That's it goes down on the porn movie sets. But there's one thing Maurice McKnight is not having. Co-stars calling him. Let me see a picture of him at work. He is not going to have co-stars calling him racial slurs in the middle of the action. So that was just kind of interesting, juxtaposed with, he like, you can't even pay me to call me a Negro. Hey, Frank G. And the other one is like, I mean, not a Negro, but an Nigger. And the other one is like, ooh, you call me Nigg just to mean me, pee on me, whatever. I guess different people have their different fetishes. This young man, he looks young by how he's dressed. Ooh, he's got a nice nose and mouth and lips. I can't tell. His glasses make his brow look kind of intense, but okay. Cuba plane crash. Black box recovered in good condition. So I guess we're gonna be finding out what happened. Not the face. You didn't like his face? I'm like, is it Beyonce? She says she like a Michael Jackson nose, and I like, something, somebody who got some, I don't know. If it's symmetrical, I think most Black people are attractive. If you look at them, you'll be like, oh, I want to see more. Well, I told you his name. You could probably Google him. Cuba. So the black box is going to be recovered from the from the plane incident in Cuba. So I guess they'll be able to determine exactly what happened and why. So that's it for the news that I have. If you have any, again, we started off with what's new and good with you. Any news that you have in your community, in your family, in the world, any good news that you've heard that you want to share. Yesterday we did Quadrivar in terms of when time permits, we focus on the African countries. So today we are focusing on the Democratic Republic of Congo. So let's see. Hey, love like the sun. So does anybody know anything about the Democratic Republic of Congo? I have a friend who went there. She was doing missionary work. It's often referred to as the DR Congo, the DRC, or the RDC. Or it is called Congo Kinshasa. No, Congo Kinshasa. Let me make this bigger so I can see. Kinshasa, Congo Kinshasa, after the capital Kinshasa, in contrast to Congo Brazzaville for its neighbor. Oh. The name Congo refers to the river Congo, also known as the river, I don't know, because I'm back in my little, this page or whatever where all the paragraphs are jumbled up. So, it was formerly in turn the Congo Free State, the Belgian Congo, Congo Leopoldville, Congo Kinshasa, and Zaire, or Zaire in French. Zaire. I don't know which one is French, but Though it's located in the Central African UN subregion, the nation is economically and regionally something, I don't know. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, where it is estimated that there are up to 2 million followers. Congo was a civilization, right? Hey, Yapo. I'm not sure if it was a civilization or not, but this is the country Congo. We'd have to look, we'd have to do further research. I'm just trying to go through the countries on Alkebulan in Africa and try to get some basic orientation. Then I get more sophisticated. So I don't know. It's a shame. It's a sin and a shame, a sin and a scandal that we Black folks, educated Black folks, don't know more about the continent, our motherland, my motherland, the land of my mothers and fathers, my forefathers and foremothers. But that's okay, because that's why we having these little conversations. I believe Congo was one of the world's largest depositories of original seeds of various fruits and herbs. I only heard of the Queen Nzinga. I've been doing a live stream. I'll be doing a live stream around 3:34 Western time. I'm interviewing someone who worked in the San Francisco. Oh, I remember you talking about that dispatcher. Hey, Andres. 62 of the Protestant denominations in the country are federated. So join the live stream. I don't know what the heck 3:34. First of all, I don't understand why you're having a live stream at 3:34. Why don't you just do what I do and say 3:30-ish? And then Eastern time. So is that like 1 o'clock? What time is that? Is that 6 o'clock my time? I'm so confused. It must be 6 o'clock 6:34 my time, Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, okay. So your eyes just peeled on the Information Man's channel. He gonna be going live. We don't quite, some of us know when. If you in Cali, you probably know exactly what he talking about. But I'm not exactly sure. But keep your eyes peeled because he's going to be going live with someone who was a dispatcher for the police department and is going to talk about systematic racism in dispatching as well as other parts of the police department. And we know that there is the system of racism has not been limited to any part of this society. It's woven in and through and under and above, and we swimming in it. What kind of voodoo is 334? Right. Peace, Nikki Justice. Peace and Black Power. Right. What kind of voodoo? Right. Is that like some kind of power number for you? Nina Simone, I was listening. Okay, it's not Do I Move You. I can't remember what song. Oh, I Put a Spell on You. And you're going to come on my live at 3:34. I put a spell on you. Okay. I'm going to stop being silly. It is a source and destination country for men, women, and children trafficked for the purpose of forced labor and sexual exploitation. This is the third or fourth time that we've heard this as we've gone through these countries, and we're not even through the seas yet. So it's like, are they cutting and pasting this into all of the articles? Is this true? Is this accurate? What does it mean? I don't understand. It's a tier 2 watch list for its failure to provide evidence of increasing efforts to combat trafficking. Peace to the chat. To combat trafficking in persons in 2007, while some significant initial advances were noted. The flag of the Democratic Republic of Congo is sky blue field divided diagonally from the lower hoist corner. Maybe the hoist corner is where you put the flagpole in. I never even heard of a hoist corner. The lower hoist corner. Look, y'all. Look at this. We's getting educated. So look, I forgot to show you the flag. That's the flag there. So it's blue, and then it's got like a red stripe going through it. And on either side of the red stripe, it's like yellow. I don't know if you can tell that. And then it has that star above. 63,655,000. I don't like that flag. It kind of matches your artwork. It kind of matches your avatar. She could be from DR Congo. And then here's the map of the country in the context of the African continent, or Alkebulan. Y'all see that red? It's big. It looks really big. Doesn't it look big? Oh, you're so big, DR Congo. Probably the combination of, is it the combination of colors? Okay. So a red stripe bordered by 2 narrow yellow stripes, a yellow 5-pointed star appears in the upper hoist corner. Again, this word hoist, what does it mean? I think hoist probably is where, like, if you put the flagpole in, that's the hoist corner. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it unless someone disputes it. Okay. It was populated as early as 10,000 years ago and settled in the 7th and 8th centuries. And settled in the 7th and 8th centuries AD by Bantus. Ooh, Bantus. I've heard of Bantus. From present-day Nigeria. Portuguese navigator Diego was the first European to have visited the area in 1482. It's blue. Okay, we talked about that. Straddling the equator, the Democratic Republic of Congo is the 3rd largest country in Africa. I said it looked big. It's the 3rd largest. Which is the largest? What's the 2nd largest? These are things that we should know, and I don't. Do you know? If you do, drop it in the comments. Let's get educated. What are the top three, the three largest countries in the African continent? Now we know, we're going to remember this, the DR, it is the Sudan, is that number one? We're going to remember that the DR Congo is number 3. 3 is our favorite number, so we might even remember that. We'll see. Third largest, the mighty Congo River flows north and then south through a land rich in minerals, fertile farmlands, and rainforests. Now, here this writer go again with the mighty Congo River. They didn't just say the Congo River, they said the mighty Congo River flows through. Like sometimes the writing is so like, I don't know, and sometimes it's kind of dry. Governed under the Constitution of 2006. By far the most biologically rich country in Africa. They said it is by far the most biologically rich country in Africa. So what does it mean to be biologically rich? Are there like a lot of different plants? Is there a lot of different life forms? Is that what makes it like flora and fauna, plants and animals? It's just biologically rich. By far the most rainforest, biologically rich. Yeah. It's by far, this article says, the most biologically rich. Yes. Oh, okay. In Africa. Okay. The war in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo has cost millions of lives. So we were talking about some war where 800,000 people died. I think those skulls that we saw were not 800,000, but they looked a lot. They could have been 800,000, but I don't think they were. But I think that 800,000 people had died in that conflict. So 800,000 is almost a million. So they're saying in this conflict, millions have died. There are a lot of people on the continent of Africa, because millions have died here in this conflict. 800,000 have died we just on the seas. Alphabetically, we're at the letter C. So how many people are we going to hear about dying here and dying there, and then us on our Ma'afa and our travel over here, and means it is filled with. So that's very striking to me. You know, it's like just how densely populated it feels like the continent of Africa is, that we can lose this many people here and this many people there. And of course, there are some places that you go to which are, you know, sparsely populated, but then you go to some places like Lagos and it's like a whole bunch of people. So I don't know if you can feel the effects of having lost people to this conflict and lost people to that conflict. I'm sure you feel that personally when it's your people who have, you know, made their transition. But, you know, it's a hot and humid climate, both central and west. Daily highs approach 90 degrees. Could you live someplace that was like 90 degrees every day? Some of us could, because some of us love the hot weather. The hot weather. The hot weather. In the I don't know if it would be like how it would be like to be like all day, every day. And does it get cool in the night? And also, it's like being someplace hot where there is of course, Europe promotes tribalism and ethnic conflict. I'm sure Africa is beautiful. Yep, different parts are beautiful in different ways. And probably different parts speak to different people. You know, some people might really like, you know, this type of climate. Some people might like that type of climate. Some people might like this type of culture. You know, it's probably something for everyone in our motherland. In the land of our forefathers and foremothers. So 90 degrees, that's kind of hot. But if it's like Africa has snow-capped mountains, yeah, everything, hot, cold, it's huge. It covers a lot of if you're not by the, you know, it's a lot of space. It's highs, it's lows, it's by the equator, it's far from the equator. It's everything. But I wonder if it's cool at night or if it stays hot during the night. And also, like down south where there's been a lot of buildup, desert, swamp, everything. Yeah. Um, and also like in Mississippi where you can see where there have been like where things are built up concrete at nighttime, the concrete is emitting heat. Just like if you do passive construction on your house, you can say can absorb the heat come to be radiated out passively later on. But when it's where it's like grass and stuff, you can drive by and feel the temperature drop. So I wonder, like in the nighttime, like how I don't know, I just wonder about what that means. They say it is most emphatically not a tourist destination. They say tourists don't go there. But again, I have a friend who went there as a missionary. She went and she came back. I know there are mountains in Tanzania. It's considered risky at this time. It was okay. We talked about that. Nigeria. I think they're saying there are 215 languages. Of those, 214 are living languages, and one is extinct. 214 living languages, 215 languages. What are the languages we talk? You speak German, Iyapo, Mount Kilimanjaro. Oh, is Mount Kilimanjaro in no, Mount Kilimanjaro is in Kenya, right? I think Mount Kilimanjaro is in Kenya. I think it's in Kenya. Is it in Kenya? I'll have to look it up. Um, German. Does anybody else? I habla un poquito. Ya, 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 ya. Don't ask me any more questions. Ya. Habla un poquito español, pero quiero hablo más español. Don't get a yapo started with that rough ass German. I don't know why it seems so rough and aggressive, and the culture and the people and the climate seems so cold and hard. I don't know if that's just like, is it like a true reflection of like the vibration? A lot of people in the military have been to Germany. Um, okay, anything else? Bonobos, pygmy chimpanzees are found in the wild. If you're interested in bonobos, they're found in the wild. Oh, it's the only country in the world. The Democratic Republic of Congo is the only country in the world. This is some good trivia to know. We should have like an Africa trivia game. So this would be a question. What country in the world is the only country to have in which bonobos are found in the wild? Da, na, 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 na. What is the Democratic Republic of Congo? See? Yeah, you know. Okay, that's a good trivia question. Education system. Okay. Okay, well, that's it for that essay. That's it for our conversation about Africa today. Who did we talk about yesterday? Do we even remember? I don't even remember. What country did we talk about yesterday? Dang. It's so hard being ignorant. I'll have to look on my list. So the word for today, oh, Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire. See? And I was mentioning it earlier today. We were talking about it. And our word for today was Nguzo Saba, which means core principles, 7 principles. I don't know what it means in Swahili. But Habaragani, was it Nia today? Is anybody here from the beginning who can tell us what our word for today was? I think it was Nia, purpose. Our purpose is to be here and build for our family and our community. What's your purpose? He just cussed us in German. I don't believe that. And then from the deck, the universe has your back I never would. Right, I don't believe that. The deck told us today that obstacles are detours in the right direction. So when you think it's an obstacle, it's a detour in the right direction. Purpose, to live in reality, keep your head to the sky. To live in reality, keep your head to the sky. They say when you keep your head up, you don't notice the bug. Frieden und Schwarzenkraft. Did we learn the other day that Schwartz was Negro, black, colored? Like Schwarzenegger. Is Schwartz black? Friend of peace and black power. Oh. So is Kraft power? Frieden. So did you know black people when you were in Germany? Did you go up to them and say things like that, or you didn't even have the consciousness? It doesn't sound nice, Ayapo. Speak nicely to us, please, sir. It doesn't sound nice. I enjoyed your live the other day, Frank G. It's so interesting. I wish I had more time to go to every, because it's so many people out here doing so many different things and so many different voices. It's awesome and amazing and wonderful, I think. So that's it. That's what I got. So that's it for if you're watching the replay. In the rest of it, if I'm still here, thank you. The rest of it, if I'm still here, we just kicking it. So I think that's it. I think that's everything. I just stay real. And then did you go live this morning too? Did I see that? Thanks, Angela. You're welcome. Thank you. Das ist gut. That's good. That is good. Das ist gut. Do people talk like that? I'm glad I caught the live stream back to my work. Yes. Okay. And you get a good turnout. Danke. Yeah, now that looks like Dutch, or I think it's Dutch. Is that what they speak in the Netherlands? That looks like Dutch. The languages might be close. Because Danke, I think that's definitely what they were saying in the Netherlands. All right. So it is on purpose that we are here today. And I'm really, really grateful that you are here, that we're all here today together on purpose at this moment in this space and time. We could have been any place. And we're here, and that's wonderful. And I thank you. You are wonderful. You are special. You is strong. You is kind. You is beautiful. You is smart. And you is important. I'm saying that jokingly, but I mean that sincerely. You are. So remember that. Remind yourself of that and remind other people of that. You are blessed and you are a blessing. Today is the best day ever, right? Yes. So thank you for being you, for being fabulous, and for being fabulous you, because nobody else can do it but you. So go on and do what you do. Peace. Be you. Be fabulous. Yeah, and then the butcheration of my song. This is how the song goes. The motto is be you, be fabulous you. And the song is be you. Be fabulous you. Or you could be like, be you, be fabulous you. Or you could be like, be you, be fabulous you. You always sing it right. See, some of us, and then the rest of us is just like, I don't know. Yapo and Frank, we understand, but the other people, I don't know what they be doing. But be you. See, Information Man Show. Peace.